basis and dimension for any given set of vectors. Okay, so what is basis? Basis is actually, now think we have a vector V which is a vector space. Okay, think we have a vector V which is a vector space. Now we have S which is a subset of V. Okay, we have a vector S which is a subset of a vector space V. Now if this subset S spans V, if this subset S spans V, in my previous video I have clearly explained what is the meaning of spans, right? So if this particular vector set S spans the vector space V, and if this particular subset S is linearly independent, okay, I hope in all my previous videos, I have explained what is linearly independent and what is linearly dependency is all about. I have explained you what is span is all about. Therefore, if any given subset or if any given set of vectors S spans the vector space V, and if that subset S is linearly independent, then we can say that subset S is called basis for the vector V. Okay, then we can say that the subset S is called a basis for V. Okay, so this is the definition of basis. This is the definition of basis. Okay, so what is the standard basis that we come across in vector space? Okay, so if you consider a zero vector, if you consider a zero vector space, then we say pi, we denote it as pi would be a, so pi says it is a empty set. Okay, empty set is a set, it can be a zero vector also. So therefore pi is a basis for zero vector, okay, where there is only zero elements. So the second standard basis that we can see for any given vector space is, now the standard basis for r power 3, okay, so we all know what is r power 3 and all. In my previous video I told you what is r and r power 3 and all. So therefore if I say the standard basis for r power 3, then you get 3 vectors where you see 3 bases you get, which is 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. Okay, so this would be the standard basis for r power 3. Okay, now if you ask me for r square, it would be 1 0 and 0 1, 1 0 and 0 1. This would be the 2 bases that we get for r square. Now for r power 3 it is 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1 are the 3 bases that we come across, that the 3 standard bases that we come across for an r3. Now what would be the standard basis for r power n? We normally go with E1, E2 so on, En would be equal to 1 0 continuously 0, E2 would be equal to 0 1, this is E1, and E2 is 0 comma 1 comma so on 0, En would be equal to 0 comma 0 comma so on 1. It means that if I say r power 4, then I would say 1 comma 0 comma 0 comma 0, then another basis is 0 comma 1 comma 0 comma 0, third basis for r power 4 would be 0 comma 0 comma 1 comma 0, fourth basis for r power 4 would be 0 comma 0 comma 0 comma 1. This would be the basis for r power 4. Now in common, if we write for r power n, then we say E1 would be equal to 1 comma 0 comma followed by all n zeros, E2 would be equal to 0 comma 1, second element becomes 1, and E3 third element becomes 1, E4 fourth element becomes 1, and so on, En nth element becomes 1. Okay, so that is what the standard basis that we see. Now the fourth here is, now if I take a 2 cross 2 matrix here, so if I take a matrix space, okay, now if I have 2 cross 2 element matrix, square matrix, I think you will have 4 elements A, B, C, D, right? So for that, if I want to write basis here, 1 0 0 0 is the first basis, second basis is the first element 0, second element is 1, others are 0, third basis would be 0 0 1 0, fourth basis would be 0 0 0 1. So these are the 4 basis, standard basis for m cross n matrix. And if you take an example of square matrix, this would be 4. So if you have a 2 cross 2 matrix space, then you get 4 different bases for that. Okay, Now the fifth standard basis that we see come across in a polynomial equations, where you see 1 comma x square comma so on x to the power of n would be the basis that you see. For example, in Pn of x, where when n equals 4, for example, then the basis would be equal to 1, then x square, then x cube, then x to the power of 4. This would be the basis that we see, standard basis for Pn of x when n equals 4. Now here you can see an example here, P3 of x when n equals 3, here you get 1x, x square, x cube, it ends at x cube. So this would be the 4 different standard bases that we have for a polynomial equation when we see the value of n, the degree value would be equal to 3, or order what we take equals 3. So this would be the very basis and the definition of what is basis in any given vectors. Now we will take an example to find out the dimension and basis. Now I don't want to tell you the definition of dimension. You can see what is dimension and what would be the value of dimension for the problem that I solve now, and in that problem you will see how the basis is being found and how the dimension will be found. Let us see how to find the dimension of the vector space spanned by the vectors. So these are the different vectors which is being given, which is where the vector space is spanned by these vectors, 4 different vectors which is given here. Now you need to also find the basis for that particular space. Now what we do is we'll first find the basis and then we'll see what is the dimension of the vector space. Okay, so therefore, so first to find out the basis, what we do is we'll try to take these vectors and then we'll try to put it into there are 2 types. One is the row space and the column space, which I'm going to work out now. So I'll go with row space and column space. Now first I will go with row space. So in row space, what I do is I'll take the vectors matrix by writing the vectors in a row way. So it is 1, 1, minus 2, 0, minus 1, then 1, 2, 0, minus 4 and 1, then I have 0, 1, 3, minus 3 and 2, then I have 2, 3, 0, minus 2 and 0. So this is how I'll arrange my matrix when I consider row space. Okay, so now we need to apply the Gauss-Jordan elimination method to find the reduced Euclidean form of this particular matrix. Okay, so the basis or the dimension will be found when you have the matrix in the simplest form, and that matrix in the simplest form is nothing but the reduced Euclidean form matrix. So you will always obtain the reduced Euclidean form matrix by applying Gauss-Jordan elimination method. Now see, this is the reason why Gauss-Jordan elimination method is quite popular in matrix related operations or in any vector space when we take. And see, I hope you are able to find out why we learned Gauss-Jordan elimination or row reduction technique that we found earlier. Okay, anyway, so now we'll apply Gauss-Jordan elimination method so that we'll see the reduced form of this particular matrix. So what we do is, see, we do already we have 0 here. So what we do is we take row 4 or we take row 2 first and we directly subtract row 2 with row 1. Okay, so then what matrix we get here? So 1, 1, minus 2, 0, 1, minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 1 is 1, then 0 minus 2 is 0 minus of minus 2, which is plus 2, and then minus 4 minus 0 is minus 4. So 1 minus of minus 1 is 2, and we have here 0, 1, 3, minus 3, 2, and we have 2, 3, 0, minus 2 and 0. Now what I'll do, the next process, I'll try to do R4 equals R4 minus 2 times R1. So I'll do that, R4 minus 2 times R1. So what will I get here? So it is 1, 1, minus 2, 0, minus 1, and then I'll say 0, 1, 2, minus 4, 2, 0, 1, 3, minus 3 and 2, So 2 minus 1, 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 2 into 1, which is 1. 0 minus 2 into 2, 4. So 0 plus 4 is 4. Minus 2 minus 0 is minus 2. And 0 minus of 2 into minus 1, which is plus 2. So this is what we get. Now further, what would be the further step that we can come across here? So now what I'll do is, I'll try to take R2 to be equal to, sorry, R3. Yeah. So R2 be equal to R2 minus, sorry, not R2. It is R3 equals R3 minus R2. R3 minus R2. Similarly, I will do R4 equals R4 minus R2. So what will I get if I do that? So let us do that. So there it is 1, 1, minus 2, 0, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, minus 4, 2. So here 0 minus 0 is 0, 1 minus 0 is 1 minus 1 is 0, 3 minus 2 is 1, minus 3 minus of minus 4. Minus 3 plus 4, which is 4 minus 3 is 1, 2 minus 2 is 0. Similarly here 0 minus 0 is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0, and then we have 4 minus 2 is 2, minus 2 minus of minus 4, which is plus 4. So 4 minus 2 is 2. Then I have 2 minus 2, which is 0. Okay. Then what I can do is, I can say R4 equals R4 minus 2 times R3. So this is what I can do here. So finally what I get here is 1, 1, minus 2, 0, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, minus 4, 2, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. I'll get all zeros here. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So is there any chance of solving it further? I don't think so, because if you try to further solve it, there is not much big changes that you get in the matrix, because further if you do any operation, the basis remains to be same. So the dimension will also be remains to the same. So what is this? Now what is basis now? Okay. Now what is basis? That is what we need to see. What is basis in this particular matrix now? The basis is the number of rows where you see pivots is 1 here. Can you see the pivots are 1 here? So therefore the number of rows which you can see which contains, okay, which contains the non-zero elements. Okay, so the basis here is therefore to be 3. So sorry, not basis equals 3. The basis here is R1, dimension is 3. Basis here is R1, R2 and R3. Therefore the 3 bases that we get here is, the first basis is 1, 1, minus 2, 0 and minus 1. The second basis is 0, 1, 2, minus 4 and 2. And the third basis is 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. So these are the 3 bases for this particular given matrix. Okay. And then the dimension is nothing but the number of bases. The dimension is always equal to the number of bases. So the number of bases here equals 3. So therefore dimension equals 3. So this is what the basis and dimension that you found for the row space in the for a given vector space. Okay. Now I'll go with column space. Now what is column space? I'll just go with column space. I'll just take the same vectors, but now I'll write it in a column wise. Okay. So what is that? You write the first vector 1, 1, minus 2, 0, minus 1. Second vector is 1, 2, 0, minus 4 and 1. Third vector is 0, 1, 3, minus 3 and 2, and fourth vector is 2, 3, 0, minus 2 and 0. So this is how in column space we do. Okay, this is how in column space we write the given vectors in column wise. Okay, this is what we do in column space. So now what we do, we try to again apply the Gauss-Jordan method to find out the solution for this. Okay, so what we can do here, is we'll try to replace R4 with R4, sorry, not R4, the last row is R5. So R5 is R5 plus R1. R5 is R5 plus R1. Okay, then I'll say R3 equals R3 plus 2 times R1. So this is, so what is the matrix that I get here is, so R1 is 1 1 0 2 1 2 1 3. Now minus 2, R3 is minus 2 plus 2 into 1 is 2. So minus 2 plus 2 is 0. Then 0 plus 2 times 1. So 0 plus 2 into 1, which is 2. Then 3 plus 2 into 0. So this remains to be 3. Then 0 plus 2 into 2, 4. So this is 4. So this is 0, minus 4, minus 3 and minus 2. Now the last row is R5 plus R1. So minus 1 plus 1 is 0. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. Okay, now what I do is I'll divide R5 with R5 by 2. So if I do that, I think these all three elements will become 1 1 1. So this becomes 1 1 1. Okay, now what I'll do is, the next step is R2 would be equal to R2 minus R1. So therefore the matrix would be 1 1 0 2. 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 0 is 1, 3 minus 2 is again 1. So therefore this is 0 2 3 4, 0 minus 4 minus 3 and 2, and then this is 0 1 1 1. Okay, now what I do is I'll say R5 equals R5 minus R2 now. So therefore what will I get? 1 1 0 2, 0 1 1 1, 0 2 3 4, and then 0 minus 4 minus 3 minus 2, and then 0 0 0 0. The last row became all 0. Okay. Okay, next what I do is I'll take R4 to be equal to R4 plus 4 times R2. Let me see that. So what will I get? 1 1 0 2, 0 1 1 1, 0 2 3 4, then it is R4 is 0, plus 0 is 0, minus 4 plus 4 is 0, then minus 3 plus 4, right, minus 3 plus 4 is 1, then minus 2 plus 4, 4 minus 2 is 2, which is 0, 0, 0, 0. So this is what the matrix which we have got. Then further, what I can do, so I'll take R2, R3, and then I'll say R3 equals R3 minus 2 times R2. So what will I get? So I get 1, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 1 is 2, 4 minus 1 is 3, 2 minus 2 is 0. So here 2 minus 2 times R1, right? So 2 times R2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 2 into 1. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. Therefore, I get here 0, 0, 1, 2 and then 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, now R4 will be equal to R4 minus R3. So what will be the final answer here is not final, we can still further, we can do it. I'll just, let me see, 1, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Can we do it further? We should check. I don't think so. I think this would be the final reduction that we can do using Gauss-Jordan elimination method. So I hope this would be the last step. Now we can see the pivots here. So these are the 3 pivots that we have. So the 3 pivots that we have is in column 1, column 2, column 3, right? Column 1, column 2 and column 3 are the 3 pivots that we have, right? Are the 3 pivots that we have. Therefore, the basis here is for the column space, okay? The basis is not here we take, the basis is we see the 3 column position of the initial matrix. So the 3 column position, this one, this one, this one. So therefore, for the column space, as we see the pivots were visible in the 3 columns of first 3 columns. Therefore, the basis for this column space would be 1, 1, minus 2, 0, minus 1 is the first basis. Second basis is 1, 2, 0, minus 4, 1. And the third basis that you get is 0, 1, 3, minus 3 and 2. So this is very important. While doing a column space, what we do is we will try to apply the Gauss-Jordan reduction techniques till the end, and we saw the position of the pivot elements column wise. So this is the first column, second column, third column. So the first 3 columns were the position of the pivot elements. Therefore, we go to the initial matrix and these 3 columns, first 3 columns will come into the basis of the column space matrix, whatever we have taken. So even though you got 2 different bases here, I think in the row space we got 1 basis, the column space when we took we got another basis. That is fine, you get 2 bases, it's well and good. You have to enjoy, we are getting 2 bases for a single vector space, okay? So that is fine. Even the dimension here remains to be same, so dimension is equal to 3. Now the dimension value for both the column space or row space you take, the dimension should never change. Dimension should remain to be 3. Okay. So the number of bases should also not change. The number of bases should also be equal to 3. You might get different basis elements, but the number of bases or number of dimensions should remain constant. Okay. I think this problem is clear to you. For any given vector space, how to find out the basis and how to find out the dimension. Let us look into the next problem. How to solve this particular problem? Now what we need to do is we need to find the basis, and we'll also go in finding the dimension also. So we need to find out the basis and the dimension for the column space C of A. So the given matrix is already in terms of column space, so we'll see how to find out the basis for this particular column space C of A. Okay. Now the first thing what we need to know is the definition of basis, which I've already told you, means already mentioned the definition and all in the previous video. So let me go directly in solving this particular problem step by step. The step is very simple. The best step that you apply here is you apply Gauss-Jordan elimination method to reduce this matrix into reduced echelon form. Okay, so that is what we do. So step by step we'll see what are the different steps that we can apply so that we can reduce this matrix into an echelon form. Okay, so the first thing is I'll take row 3 and then I'll say row 3 plus row 1. Okay, so what do I get? So I get here is 1 0 minus 1 0 4 2 1 0 0 9, and then row 3 plus row 1 is minus 1 plus 1 is 0, 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 minus 1 is 4, 1 plus 0 is 1, minus 5 plus 4 is minus 1. Then I'll go with again R4 to be equal to R4 minus R1. So let me see, 1 minus 1 is 0, then minus 1 minus 0 is minus 1, minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2, minus 2 plus 0 is minus 2 again, 9 minus 4 is 5. So this is what I get. Now what I'll do is I'll go with R2 to be equal to R2 minus 2 times R1. So what will I get here? So here 1 0 minus 1 0 4, 2 minus 2 is 0, 1 minus 2 into 0, so it remains to be 1, 0 minus of 2 into minus 1 is plus 2, 0 minus 0 is again 0, 9 minus 4 2 is 8, so 9 minus 8 is 1. So this is 0 2 4 1 minus 9, then I have 0 minus 1 minus 2 5. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll take R4 and I'll say R4 to be equal to R4 plus R2. Okay, so what will I get here? So 1 0 minus 1 0 4 0 1. So it is, second row is 0 1 2 0 1 0 2 4 1 minus 9. So it is 0, minus 1 plus 1 is 0, minus 2 plus 2 is 0, minus 2 plus 0 is minus 2, 5 plus 1 is 6. Now what I'll do is I'll take R4 to be equal to R4 by 2. If I do that, then this becomes minus 1, this becomes minus 1, and this becomes 3. Okay, so now the next step is I'll say R3 would be equal to R3 minus 2 times R2. So that would be the next step I'll apply. So here 1 0 minus 1 0 4 0 1 2 0 1. So it is 0, 2 minus 2 into 1 is 0, 4 minus 2 into 2, 4 minus 4 is 0, 1 minus 0 is 1, minus 9 minus 2, which is minus 11, and this I will get 0 0 0 minus 1 and 3. Okay, The final thing is I'll go with R4 to be equal to R4 plus R3, which is equal to 1 0 minus 1 0 4 0 1 2 0 1 0 0 0 1 and minus 11. Finally this is 0 0 0 1 minus 1 0 minus 11 plus 3 minus 8. Okay, further if I can see whether I can do it further, if it is possible to work out. I don't think so we can further try out to eliminate any rows, because this minus 8 whatever we have, you cannot make it 0, because if you end up in making this 0, other elements will become non-zero. Okay, so therefore this would be the last step in reduction. So we need to see the pivot elements here. Pivot elements is this is 1, this is 1 and this is 1. So what are the three columns? This is C1, C2 and C4. Now these are the three columns, C4. These are the three columns which will span. Okay, so these are the three columns which will span, means not here, I'm sorry, these are the position of the columns where it will span. Let me write the words in that way, because this is the reduced matrix, therefore these columns will never span. Don't get confused. These columns will never span because you have reduced it in the column space. Okay, so therefore what would be the three columns that will span? I think in the previous problem we have already seen the three columns here that will span here is this one. Okay, the three columns that will span here is this one, C1, C2 and then C4. These are the three columns which will span. These two are the vectors which will not span this particular vector space, means they would not come under basis. Okay, so if they are not basis means they don't span. That is the definition we have seen, and those vectors are not linearly independent. Okay, so these three vectors what you see in the given vector set, those three vectors are linearly independent and those three are the vectors which will span, whereas the other two vectors which are crossed there, they don't span. Therefore the basis for this particular problem would be equal to 1 2 minus 1 and 1. The second basis is 0 1 2 and minus 1. The third basis is 0 0 1 and minus 2. And the dimension, as we all know, the number of bases, which is equal to 3. So I hope with these two problems you people have analyzed how to do column space or how to do row space. Now, if they don't mention column space or row space, and if they just ask you to find out the basis of any given function or the dimension for any given vectors, what you can do is you can just either use column space or you can either use row space and find out the basis or dimension. Nothing wrong in that. Okay, so let us consider these two problems now. Now there is a subset, or the subset W is given, D comma C minus D. So what you can see here, W is equal to D comma C minus D comma C, where C and D are real numbers, and the another W which is given here is 2B comma B comma 0, where B is again a real number. They are asking you to find the dimension and basis for this particular subspace W. Okay, now first thing is you need to find a set of linear independent vectors that spans the subspace. That is the first thing we need to do. So for that, this problem is very simple. You need not to go for matrix representation and all. You just separate this problem in such a way that you will see D, C minus D and C, right? So in the first vector you don't have C, so C will be considered as 0. In the second vector you see C is considered to be plus 1, comma, and in the third vector you see C is again 1. So I'll say C into 0 comma 1 comma 1 added with D into, so these both are addition, okay, this is addition, D into, in the first position you have D, so I'll say 1. In the second position it is minus D, so I'll say minus 1. And in the third position you don't have any D here, so I'll say 0 here. So if you multiply and add these two vectors, you will be ending up in getting D comma C minus D comma C. So therefore, these are the two different vectors which will span W. Okay, that are the two vectors which spans the subspace W. Okay, so therefore we see that this S would be linearly independent. Why linearly independent? Because we do have in one position we have 1 here, the other position we have another 1 here, which is pivots, right? So we can say they both are pivots, and all elements are not 0 in both the vectors. Therefore we can say that both are linearly independent, and we can also say that it spans W. Okay, this subspace, this vectors, whatever the S vectors that we have got, spans the vector W, or this subspace W. Okay, so therefore I can say it is linearly independent and it spans W. Therefore I can say S is the basis for W. Okay, so therefore A is what is considered to be the basis for W. Okay, so we found the basis for the first problem. Now what is dimension? We have two bases here. This is one basis and this is second basis. Therefore the dimension of this S would be equal to 2. Okay, now coming to the second one, B. You have 2B comma B comma 0. How can I expand this? I can just say it is B into 2 comma 1 comma 0. That's it. So I don't want any other vector here. I have only one vector, which is 2 comma 1 comma 0. Now again, this is also linearly independent because we don't have any other vector. We have only one vector which is which contains non-zero elements, right? Therefore it is linearly independent. The second thing is whether it spans B, whether it spans W. Yes, it will span. 2 comma 1 comma 0 should span. That is how we got 2B comma B comma 0, right? Therefore 2 comma 1 comma 0 is linearly independent and it will also span W. Therefore I can say that this particular S would be a basis for W. Okay, so 2 comma 1 comma 0 is the basis. Now what is the dimension? The number of bases is only 1. Therefore the dimension of this particular problem B would be equal to 1. Okay, so therefore we found basis for this would be equal to 0 comma 1 comma 1 and 1 comma minus 1 comma 0, and dimension of W equals 2, whereas the basis for this problem is 2 comma 1 comma 0. The dimension of W for this would be equal to 1. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Fine. So now let us go to the next problem. What is that? This says let W be the subspace of all symmetric matrices in M2 2 cross 2. What is the dimension of W? Now W is given here. So we need to find out what is dimension, and let us see what is basis also for this. So W is given as A, B, B, C, right? A, B, B, C. Now this can be split up into three different matrices in terms of A, B and C. So in terms of A, if I go, A has here, so therefore I'll take this as 1. All other doesn't have A, so I'll take it as 0. Plus, so this is addition of three matrices. I'll take B. Now B position here, it is 0. B is there here, so 1. B is there here, so 1. C is not there. B is not there here, so 0. Plus C into, I don't have C here, I don't have C here, I don't have C here, I have C here, so 1. So therefore, I got three different matrices which are the matrices which to be spanning W. Okay, so these are the three matrices which can span W, and all these three matrices you see are linearly independent. The reason is you have all three matrices which are quite different, and you have all three matrices which can span W, and all these three matrices are used to form the matrix A, B, B, C. Okay, and definitely they should be linearly independent. Okay, so therefore S is a basis for W. Okay, so now what would be the dimension? You got three bases here. Therefore I would say there are three different, the dimension is 3 because of three different bases that we have got. Okay, so this would be another problem which you can see in terms of matrices that we see. Okay, I hope all these 4 problems, including column space or row space in the first problem which I did. So I hope all these 4 problems that I've worked on basis and dimension made you to understand what is basis or what would be the dimension that we see in vector space. I hope my videos are very clear to you, that you can understand the concepts in much clear manner. Okay, thank you.